Do you do you believe that the world would be better? Sorry, not the world.
Yeah.
The country
Yeah.
would be better off if they said no more owner builders.
Yep.
You think that's the best next step?
Now, don't get me wrong. I think they should.
What if
If you want to paint your house, okay. If you want to put in a new kitchen, if you want to do some minor renovation work, yeah, absolutely. If you're talking about knocking down a whole home, starting from fresh, or doing a huge, massive renovation, then yeah, you got problems. You cannot. 99% of the people cannot dedicate their time and their mental capacity to building that home. 99% of the people.
Why it takes longer.
Yeah, but that's part of the reason. That's part of the
You're
problem.
doing it full time.
That's part of the problem, though. With these people now, they cannot commit their everything to that home. They can't do it. And the reason they're doing owner builder is so they can save $1, meaning they have to work Monday to Friday so they can afford to build the home on the weekend. Okay, so these people are the wrong people to be building the home. They're gonna come into trouble. They're not going to build a quality product. They're going to do things that are going to be that are going to have a really negative impact financially to them.
Okay, so who's to say that if I hire a builder, I wouldn't have that same experience? Because the builder comes across something that they haven't experienced before. No more owner builders.
Yep.
You think that's the best next step?
Now, don't get me wrong. I think they should. If you want to paint your house, okay. If you want to put in a new kitchen, if you want to do some minor renovation work, yeah, absolutely. If you're talking about knocking down a whole home, starting from fresh, or doing a huge, massive renovation, then yeah, you got problems. You cannot. 99% of the people cannot dedicate their time and their mental capacity to building that home. 99% of the people.
Why it takes longer.
Yeah, but that's part of the reason. That's part of the
you're
problem.
doing it full time.
That's part of the problem, though. With these people now, they cannot commit their everything to that home. They can't do it. And the reason they're doing owner builder is so they can save $1, meaning they have to work Monday to Friday so they can afford to build the home on the weekend. Okay, so these people are the wrong people to be building the home. They're gonna come into trouble. They're not going to build a quality product. They're going to do things that are going to be that are going to have a really negative impact financially to them.
Okay, so who's to say that if I hire a builder, I wouldn't have that same experience? Because the builder comes across something that they haven't experienced before.
Yeah, well, but this is where you'll have contracts in place. You've got to do your due diligence as well and make sure that the right person for the job is employed. You have a level of responsibility. You know, a lot of people say, oh, you know, the builder is always painted out as the bad guy. Always, in every scenario.
I know lots of people that if you ask them, they'll say never build.
Yeah, they'll go, it's the worst experience.
Don't ever build. Don't ever build. It's the worst thing ever.
But that's because they don't understand. And
hold on. You don't even know who they are. How can you say that?
I don't need to. They don't have a level of. They need to take a level of responsibility with that. They selected the fucking builder. You selected the person that you said don't build with ever again. I'm never going to build. Because on the same hand, you'll have people that say, oh, building was amazing.
Taking responsibility and saying it was a bad experience is not the same thing.
Why was it a bad experience?
I don't know.
So most of the time they'll say the builder didn't give us what we wanted, or the builder ripped us off, or they didn't do the right thing, or whatever it might be. There'll be a whole range of things that come up in their list of why you should never build. But the fact of the matter remains, if that was your experience, that's vastly because of the person that you chose to build your home. So I often say, like when I'm trying to educate people, not just builders, but also clients, I say, well, this is what you need to look for. This is what we do.
Is it
really upfront? And I've learned this through experience too, by not saying these things. And now when we ever have a process in place of onboarding a new client, I sit with them and spend a decent amount of time and say, hey, this is how this process is going to go. I want you to understand, I've never in my life, in my professional career, built a home without a variation. And I never will. So I want you to understand that right now before we sign. You need to have a contingency of money that's going to need to happen on this build. It's a fixed lump sum contract, yes, but things always come up. There are things on this build that I cannot allow for. If you want me to allow for these things, these maybes, I can. But the risk you run there is my price is going to be up here if I have to take the whole risk of everything. So say, for example, we're building a basement in a suburb that has a lot of rock.
You're going to hit rock.
Yeah, I'm going to hit rock. Now, I can do one of two things with this. If the owner's that type of person, maybe they're a multi-billionaire. So, George, I don't want to talk to you. Just give me a basement. Leave it with me. I will assume from the moment I drive my excavator on site, everything is rock because that's what the soil report's going to tell me. Now, if I dig 2 meters down and 2 meters isn't rock, that means that 2 meters worth of rock is all my, lack of rock, that's all my money. I get to keep that. But now, and then it's just the 1 meter worth of rock. Okay, well, I'll jack that out. So he's now sacrificed that potential saving. Whereas if I say, look, I'm going to exclude rock whenever I encounter it, say it's at 1 meter deep or 2 meters deep, then you pay. So there's always going to be variations that come up through things that are unforeseen. I've got a job now, the sewer pipe coming into the property. The sewer pipe coming into the property needs to be relocated. That's an authority fee. I cannot ever allow for that. I don't know where it is. This is an authority fee, and I can't even do the work. I have to engage an approved contractor to do the work. So that's a cost to the owner. And I explain these things, hey, these things could come up. It doesn't always, but it could come up. You need to understand that you're going to have this, and this risk. That's just one little thing. There's a whole range of things that we sit down and go through with them about their obligations, their responsibilities, our obligations, our responsibilities, how we document, how we communicate, how we invoice, how they can do inspections, everything. And make it a really enjoyable process for them, not just one of those stories about, I'm never going to build again, or don't ever build again. That's the worst thing you could ever possibly do. Building should be an enjoyable process and is an enjoyable process when you have the right person on board. But you need to understand that it is still, there's always things that come up. Like it's a complicated profession. It's not an easy profession.
What would you say is an easy profession? Because
I don't know.
I'm sure everyone thinks their job's hard.
Do you reckon, yeah, I don't know. Do you think being a barista is hard? Comparatively? Do you know what I mean? There's levels to it.
Yeah, they also don't get paid anywhere near as much.
No, of course. But there's, I'd say what makes it difficult is there's so many elements in the one thing. And different elements. Like, think about the complexities of what a plumber needs to do, and then the complexities of what an electrician needs to do, and then a carpenter, and then a concreter, and then all of these elements need to tie in and work together harmoniously for this building to work properly and for everyone to be happy. That's where the difficulties come in. And if you don't know what you're doing for all of those elements to come together and work properly, that's when you have issues. The other day, I got a phone call.
So wouldn't issues be more focused around, like there's obviously defects, stuff that's going to go wrong.
There's acts, there's regulations, there's basics that people need to follow. The quality of drawings are vastly important. Like we've had projects that have really poor documentation. They tend to have a lot of variations. We have projects that are really, really detailed. I prefer those types of drawings because it removes a lot of the ambiguities and also gives us the detail we need. And we can say, no, that pipe needs to run here because that's where it's documented. Whereas you'll have another set of drawings which just say plans, and then you have to guess where everything goes. Or you got to plan as you're building.
Really?
So yeah, absolutely. They won't have things like pipe runs but again, it's how much money. Those sets of plans will cost you 200 grand. These sets of plans will cost you 30. Okay, but that should save you a lot of money on site when you're building. This here, expect a good 30, 40, 50, 100 grand worth of changes that you're going to need to make to suit services.
That's still cheaper though.
It could be. Yeah. It could be, but it might not be. But it's also expenses that they weren't expecting. Oh, the builder fucked up. Hang on, mate. You gave me the drawings. I didn't make these drawings. So this is where the expectation and reality really needs to come into play.
Yeah, but so don't you think... So you're telling me that there's zero competency required to become an owner-builder?
Sorry, zero competency? What do you mean?
Like as in the amount of what a person has to do to become an owner-builder.
You just need to own your home.
That's it.
That's it.
So you could be blind.
You could be blind. You just need to own your home. There is the permit process. I haven't gone through it myself because I don't need to be owner-builder, but the process is a little bit different as far as a permit's concerned. But other than that, it's once you've got your building permit, build your house. Go.
Do you think having AI at your disposal would help?
Yeah, I think it would.
Do you think...
I think it's helped my team. So why wouldn't it help someone that has no idea?
If
I said, hey, what are these vertical bits of timber called in a timber wall? Oh, these are commonly referred to as studs. Okay, what's the horizontal parts that go about halfway through? Oh, these are called this, this, and this. So yes.
What are they called?
Noggins.
Noggins.
Yeah, so like that's, yes, for as far as an education thing, I think, yeah, AI would help.
If you like that clip and you want to watch another one, click just over here. And if you want to watch the full episode, click just over here. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and thanks for watching.